A pistol brace is a unique firearm accessory that was originally created with a specific purpose in mind, to help disabled veterans stabilize large-format pistols. After returning from service, many veterans found it difficult to safely and accurately use these heavier pistols due to physical limitations. The brace works by strapping securely to the user's forearm, providing extra support and making it possible for those with limited strength or mobility to shoot more comfortably and safely. Over time, however, the appeal of pistol braces spread far beyond the disabled community. Millions of Americans adopted these braces for recreational shooting, competitive events, and home defense, drawn by the increased control, stability, and versatility they offered to all shooters, regardless of ability. The controversy erupted when some users began shouldering the brace like a rifle stock, which blurred the legal distinction between pistols and short-barreled rifles, commonly known as SBRs. SBRs are tightly regulated under the National Firearms Act, requiring special registration and taxes. For years, the ATF maintained that braces didn't turn pistols into SBRs. But that stance changed dramatically when the Biden administration pushed for stricter regulation, especially after several high-profile crimes involving braced pistols made national headlines and raised public concern. The ATF's sudden reversal sparked immediate outrage across the country. Critics argued the agency was overstepping its authority, effectively making new law without Congress, and threatening to criminalize millions of otherwise law-abiding gun owners overnight. This escalating clash over regulatory authority and constitutional rights set the stage for a major legal showdown, with the firearms community, advocacy groups, and lawmakers all preparing for a battle that could reshape gun regulation in America. In January 2023, the ATF issued a rule reclassifying millions of braced pistols as SBRs, with a compliance deadline of May 31st. Owners now faced a stark choice: register their firearms, remove or destroy the brace, replace the barrel, or surrender the gun entirely. Registration required submitting fingerprints, photos, and entering the firearm into a federal registry, an option many gun owners deeply opposed, even with a temporary amnesty waiving the $200 tax. The alternatives, destroying property or surrendering it, were equally unpopular. The sudden shift left millions feeling betrayed, forced to comply under threat of felony charges. Confusion and anxiety swept the gun community, fueling a surge of legal challenges. The sense of injustice galvanized opposition as owners scrambled to protect their rights before the deadline. Lawsuits flooded federal courts as gun rights groups and individuals challenged the ATF's rule. Their main arguments: the ATF overstepped its authority and violated the Second Amendment. The first major win came in May 2023, when the Fifth Circuit issued a limited injunction protecting only certain plaintiffs. Other courts followed, but each ruling only shielded members of specific organizations, creating a confusing patchwork of legal protection. If you belonged to a group like the Firearms Policy Coalition, you were safe. If not, the rule still applied. This fragmented system left most gun owners exposed and desperate for clarity. The legal limbo underscored the urgent need for a nationwide solution. As the deadline loomed, the stage was set for a decisive court battle. The turning point came on November 1, 2023, when Judge Reed O'Connor in Texas issued a nationwide injunction blocking the ATF's rule. Unlike earlier rulings, this order protected every gun owner in the country with a braced pistol. The case argued the rule was both unconstitutional and an unlawful exercise of agency power. Judge O'Connor found the rule vague, arbitrary, and improperly enacted, halting enforcement while the case proceeds. The injunction instantly lifted the threat of prosecution for millions, unifying legal protection nationwide. Gun rights advocates celebrated the decision as a major victory against executive overreach. The ruling replaced the confusing patchwork with a single, clear standard for all. With the legal landscape transformed, attention turned to higher courts for the next phase of the fight. Judge O'Connor's ruling zeroed in on fundamental legal principles: agency authority, due process, and the protection of constitutional rights. These pillars form the backbone of the American legal system, ensuring that government actions remain within the boundaries set by law. He determined that the ATF had likely overstepped its legal authority by unilaterally redefining pistols as short-barreled rifles, a significant change that, according to the judge, only Congress has the power to make through legislation, not a regulatory agency. The judge criticized the abrupt policy reversal, which was implemented without new laws or a transparent, well-reasoned explanation. This action was found to be arbitrary and capricious under the Administrative Procedure Act, a law designed to prevent agencies from acting without proper justification. He also highlighted the rule's far-reaching consequences for millions of law-abiding gun owners, questioning whether it aligned with the Second Amendment. The judge referenced recent Supreme Court decisions that reinforced the importance of protecting individual rights. These precedents weighed heavily in his analysis. The court concluded that the plaintiffs faced not only significant legal risks, but also the real threat of having their constitutional rights violated if the rule remained in effect, amounting to irreparable harm. By issuing an injunction and halting the rule, the judge preserved the status quo, effectively checking executive overreach and ensuring that no new burdens would be imposed while the case proceeded. The decision sent a clear and powerful message. Regulatory agencies cannot bypass Congress to create new criminal laws or impose sweeping regulations without proper legislative authority. With the district court's decision in place, the legal battle now shifted to the appellate courts, where the ultimate fate of the rule, and its impact on gun owners nationwide, remained uncertain and hotly contested. The nationwide injunction brought immediate relief to millions of gun owners, ending the threat of sudden criminalization. Owners could keep and use their braced pistols without fear of prosecution, regardless of group membership. The ruling provided clarity and security, but it's only a temporary measure while the case moves through the courts. The Biden administration is appealing, and the legal battle is far from over. Higher courts, including the Supreme Court, will ultimately decide the rule's fate. For now, gun owners are shielded from enforcement, sparing them from irreversible choices about their property. The injunction stands as a major, if temporary, victory for gun rights and due process. The legal battle now intensifies as it moves to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. This court will play a crucial role in determining whether to uphold or overturn the nationwide block on the regulation in question. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is deliberating on a related case, which questions the ATF's authority to ban bump stocks through regulatory measures rather than legislative action. The outcome of this case could set a significant precedent for determining how much power federal agencies have to redefine firearm accessories without the need for new laws passed by Congress. If the courts rule against the ATF, it could significantly limit executive power, compelling future gun regulations to be debated and passed through Congress. Conversely, if the ATF prevails, it could embolden agencies to pursue broader restrictions on other firearm parts, potentially reshaping the landscape of gun regulation. For now, gun owners remain protected by the injunction, but the final verdict on pistol braces and the extent of agency power awaits decisions from the nation's highest courts. The stakes for gun rights, regulatory authority, and the separation of powers have never been higher, as these decisions could redefine the balance of power between Congress and federal agencies.